I love dinosaurs. I think everyone does as well. Anyone who doesn't like dinosaurs isn't your friend. And while apes and dinosaurs have had a turbulent relationship with each other, I still do enjoy dinosaurs. Those fearsome teeth, those frightful claws, and that awesome size. How can they not be fascinating? That's why I'm always happy to play a video game with dinosaurs in it. Oh, and a few of you may be wondering, why all the Jurassic Park merch if I'm not talking about Jurassic Park? Well, it's the only dinosaur merch I own, and two, I really love those movies. They're some of my favorites. Well, most of them anyway.
That is one big pile of shit.
But besides from the fact that I love the Jurassic Park films, the series was, and still is, massively influential. The CGI, the sound mixing, and the set pieces have all had a huge impact not only on film, but other media as well. The Jurassic Park films are, of course, based on the books by Michael Crichton, ape-approved forthcoming. And while the film adaptations did a good job capturing the visuals, sound, and aesthetic of the book, I feel it changed the tone quite a bit. Sure, there are moments of panic and suspense, but the book has real elements of horror. It's gritty, it's gory, the dinosaurs are really strong and really terrifying because they're so removed from modern life that no one knows how to deal with them. I always felt this tone was lacking from the movies, which was a little disappointing, but luckily for me, a dinosaur horror would take place in a different medium, a video game. No, not Trespasser, get that out of here, no, another video game. What? No, get that out of here! I'm talking about Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis is a 1999 survival horror game developed by Capcom and directed by Shinji Mikami, who also directed the original Resident Evil. Being influenced by the Lost World Jurassic Park,
this is just like that movie,
and Aliens, Mikami set out to make a different kind of horror game. He calls Resident Evil a survival horror in that things pop out and scare you, like a haunted house or something. But with Dino Crisis, he wanted there to be a constant, ever-present terror, like dinosaurs breathing down your neck at every turn. But with that being said, a lot of the elements used in Dino Crisis are borrowed from Resident Evil. The fixed cameras, the tank controls, the door opening animations, and so on. However, it does differ in a few ways, on which I'll touch upon in a moment. But for now, let's talk about the story. So in the far-off year of 2009, a scientist by the name of Dr. Edward Kirk, who has been presumed dead for 3 years prior, is studying a mysterious energy source called Third Energy on Ibis Island. The secret Operation Raid Team, or SORT for short, is taken to find and detain Dr. Kirk. However, after the disappearance of one of their agents, Tom, SORT sends in Cooper, Rick, Gale, and our protagonist, Regina, to do the job. But as they arrive, they notice something is off. The facility on the island is virtually vacant, and there are dinosaurs everywhere. Therefore, their mission changes, and they must find Kirk, but also alert rescue so that they can get off Ibis Island, all while fighting off dinosaurs in the process. Now, while this sounds a lot like the premise of Resident Evil 1, Dino Crisis is different in quite a few ways. Firstly, the dinosaurs themselves are a lot smarter than any zombie. They actually follow you around from room to room if you don't take them out. This adds to the suspense, because following Resident Evil logic, you think you'd be safer in another room, only to find your enemy is following you, bursting in to scare you. It's terrifying. The dinosaurs are a lot stronger, and a lot bigger too, taking quite a few hits before they go down. Additionally, when a dinosaur attacks you, you run the risk of losing your gun, having to dodge attacks to get it back. Or you could start to bleed, which requires you to get hemostatic medicine to stop your depleting health. Finally, there is a choice system in place. At points in the story, the game will ask you which path you want to follow, Depending on which path you choose, you can change the ending you get in the game. You could definitely tell that they were looking at Resident Evil 3 when making this game. There are a few other differences, such as item mixing, the resuscitation medicine, which resuscitates you if you die by putting you in a room back with all your items, and plug boxes, but I feel the former are the most strongest changes between Resident Evil and Dino Crisis. Now let me go into a little more detail about what I liked and what I didn't like so much about Dino Crisis. What I liked. The setting and art and characters and enemies in Dino Crisis are really strong and really great. I love the cold industrial facility that you have to explore. It makes everything so claustrophobic, especially considering the size of the dinosaurs. I also love the background of the inventory screen. It reminds me a lot of that mural from Jurassic Park 1. The characters in the game are great too. I really like Regina. I feel like somebody slid the sassy slider all the way up on her.
This isn't a joke, you idiot. We were just attacked by a big-ass lizard.
For real. What's going on over there? Alright. Head over to the control room and we'll sort out this whole situation.
Okay, I'm sorry, but Rick's voice actor is the same voice as Donkey Kong from the Donkey Kong Country TV show, and I always think of Donkey Kong when he speaks.
Diddy, push the big red button.
And it turns out Gale is the same voice actor as Clump from Donkey Kong Country. I wonder if Shinji Mikami is secretly a fan. Finally, the dinosaurs are fantastic in this game. While some of them are not entirely scientifically accurate depictions, for instance, a Therizinosaurus was actually a long-necked dinosaur and was a herbivore, they are still clever, formidable, and ferocious enemies. It gives me the same feeling I get from the Jurassic Park book. Speaking of books, this video is sponsored by Audible.
No, please. You gotta understand, I'll give you anything you want. I'll give you anything you want. Just, let me talk to my... Oh, God. Is that a camera? Can you see me? Okay. Listen. The people at Audible, they trapped me in this basement. And they won't let me go. They won't let me contact anybody. I'm not safe down here. They keep on making me read books. They just lock me in this dungeon and they keep on giving me books. And the problem is, I can't read. Okay, I never learned. I don't know how to read. Jeff Bezos is breathing down my neck to read, and I don't know how. This isn't any way to live. Do you understand? Send help. Send help, please.
Oh, I think we cut out there for a second. Let's take it to break. Nothing. It's a perfect game. No complaints. But no, there are a few issues I have with this game. One, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I thought the T-Rex would be a lot more persistent in this game, kind of similar to Mr. X or Nemesis, but he only shows up a couple of times, and fighting him as the final boss felt a little underwhelming in my opinion. Additionally, the inventory system was a little, well, uninteresting to look at. I prefer Resident Evil's big inventory system with pictures and everything rather than just a list of items. Finally, I've never been a big fan of quick-time events, and the danger sequences kind of fall into that category. While I know they're supposed to add to the suspense of the game, they only really threw me off a bit, and mashing the buttons and D-pad can be a little bothersome. Final verdict. Dino Crisis is a fantastic game. It definitely is a fresh take on the survival horror genre from the man who birthed it in the first place. I definitely recommend it to anyone who liked Resident Evil 1, but also those who liked Jurassic Park. I feel it's like the Jurassic Park game I've always wanted, but never got.